Hey, hi people. Good afternoon, good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. How are we today? Yes, in a new location in the house. Yeah, I haven't been upstairs in a while on this patio. It is wonderful. I was meaning to come out here. Yeah, it's very nice. Let me show you a little bit of it. Yeah, nice. It's nice. And there goes Lavin. Hey, Lavin. Hello. Yeah, Lavi's doing okay. Lavin. Lavin. No, no licking the floor. Oh, mommy. Yeah, I was meaning to do this in a while. Yes, good afternoon, viewer. Yes, this is my second live stream today. I like doing the live stream. It's just getting it out the way. I don't like editing, things like that I used to do. Uh, when I feel spontaneous, feel like doing a video, I just do it. Yeah, this is nice. I mean to come up here sooner. So, yeah, I've been binge watching videos, and I just finished watching this documentary on the Opium Wars. Now I've heard about the Opium Wars of the past, and when I watched it, the first time, it was hard for me to believe. And then I just watched one a moment ago, and I said to myself, is what happening in America today. The results of the Opium War that Britain had with China in the 1800s. I had no idea that it was hard for me to believe. I said, people in China were addicted to opium? I know I'm generalizing. Yeah, I'm from the States, but I live here now in Rwanda. And I never really saw that element of the Chinese community in New York doing drugs. So it was kind of hard for me to see something like that happening. Was that over 100 years ago? It, it was some type of trade. Britain had a naval force, and they were doing trade with China and India. They mentioned something about silver, that silver was very, as an exchange, silver was extremely, extremely valuable. And the emperor in China wanted to be paid in silver. Yeah, Britain got involved with the trade with China. Something happened. It's kind of hard for me to really understand, but something to the effect that because of this, the emperor of China was extremely wealthy and had a large market and wanted to get in with it. To take away the power of the emperor, I guess, acquire their silver. Britain said, what could we do to get that silver from? So they had gone to India, and I think they said Bengal. There was a drug from the poppy plant. I think it's from the poppy plant. and it's highly addictive. And they sold it to the Chinese. And they said in the millions, people are addicted to it. It's really hard for me to perceive something like that. Because the Chinese people that I knew in America, they were real studious, quiet, and I don't know any of them to be involved with drugs. But something like that happened. And they were addicted for quite a while. It was such a bad situation. And then the emperor finally put his foot down. Emperor of China put his foot down, and they the emperor put a ban on opium, and had anyone who was marketing opium and the abusers, people who were addicted to it, that they had to relinquish all their supplies, and the supplies were to be destroyed. He had the birds. Yes, I'm not used to sitting up here. Yeah, the birds go on the roof. So it was all destroyed, and then Britain gets angry, says, you owe us money. You destroyed our means of making money off of you, even though the people were dying. You die of addiction. And the emperor said no. So a war started. Britain had these sophisticated ships. They were steam run, and they outmaneuvered China's weaponry. And China lost the war. And the emperor had to sign a treaty with Britain and the royalty of Britain. And it's really something how they can word things, make it sound good, sound civil, but actually really screwed them, the Chinese. It screwed them. In essence, it took a section of China, a place called Hong Kong, and this was to be the colony, the new colony for Britain, and they were to do commerce there and control the commerce there. Yeah, I think the emperor, it was really a smash in the face. And I think a year later, after the treaty, the emperor dies. Wow. So fast forward, okay. So history has a way of repeat itself. Yeah. I'm not going to compete with that. History has a way of repeating itself. So what's happening now in America? You have a large number of people from China, like in New York, where I'm from. You have an epidemic of these drugs that are being brought into the States. They say it's coming in through Mexico, but I think they actually originate from China, and then from China, Mexico, then, so it's being trafficked. America is in a real bad situation. I mean, New York, you saw a lot of crime in New York, but the drug scene now, It's really bad. People doing injecting things in the body, sore for the first time. I mean, television is one thing, but to actually see it in real life is quite frightening. I never saw that growing up. You hear about it, but actually see it in front of you is quite shocking. One thing with drug abuse, you become, you just don't care. You just want that fix. So initially, you just saw a lot of, initially, homeless black men and some homeless black females, but a lot of homeless and black men. And then during the COVID, you started seeing white people on the street, and they looked even worse. It was quite a cultural shock. Yeah, it's an epidemic, the drug scene. It's quite sad. So, what's going on? You have a history that lasted for a while in China. People, the millions that said that were addicted to opium. And now you have with that fentanyl. Wow. You see things, they look like zombies. And then you have with it those horse tranquilizers just being used. It's ravishing America. A couple of years ago, actually, in New York City, when I was still living there, I saw, like, I noticed that the schools who was attending some of the big universities in New York City were people that look like they're from China. And again, there's nothing wrong with Chinese people. But when you see a drastic change in the demographics and the lives of people, you start to take a notice. Yeah, a large number of the schools, the Ivy League schools in New York City. You know, when I went to, when my latter years back in college, I noticed there was a larger, increasing number of people from China. Also, to go to, when you're a foreign exchange student in America, you pay more tuition because you're international and they charge more. So how are they affording this new stream of people coming from China? You also have a large number of people from India too, I notice. I don't quite understand it. Shoot. Those are the birds, I'm sorry. Yeah, the animals are getting, I think it's mating season. Yeah, things are getting kind of wild here. Yeah, the mosquitoes are out. They're mating now and everything. Now it's starting to rain a lot. And then with the mosquitoes and the breeding and everything. Wow. Sorry about that. So yeah, I just noticed now it's like a shift and new people. They're in. I knew she was teaching. She was learning what's it, economics. Yeah, and she was my tutor actually. Yeah, economics. I just couldn't stand the subject, economics. Maybe that's why I'm in my position that I'm in. I I don't understand economics. I'm not into all this theory. I'm a very practical, hands-on person. I don't understand it. But either way, they seem to be recruiting people from China with these degrees. Not like It's like one of those degrees, like, who knows anything about economics, as a major. But I was in a situation. They were people from, I mean, I don't know what country they're from, but they look like they also could have been from China. But I used to work at a bank. Well, I did security work at a bank, and I was posted at the lobby of the one of the largest banks in the country. So I saw everyone who came in and out. And early in the morning, um, they were, I think, it could have been 8 women, 4 white females, and 4 East Asian females, could have been Chinese. And it's like, how does this happen? Another plane. Let it go by. It's gonna land this one. Okay, not gonna compete with that. But I didn't understand. Um, I don't know what they were majoring in, what the major was, but it just seemed, it was like to me, like a red flag. What's going on socially? And how is it that, like half and half, no blacks? It's like they're grooming in America only certain people to do certain things. And then they're going to be placed in high positions, sensitive areas in major Fortune 100 companies. Part of me felt very defensive that I didn't see any Black Americans in these positions. I got the feel that at least the Asian women, that they weren't, I just felt that they possibly are international students. But you don't want to feel, as an American, as a Black American, left out. I felt that what I was seeing in New York City, a a downward spiral of Black Americans. Even though we had a Black president, a so-called Black president at the time, but his interest was not about improving the status, the economic power of Black America. So I'm asking myself, what's going on? So that when I was in doing security work at a major bank, this was what year was it? Oh, this was 2004. Yeah, so it was, yeah, this was around 2004, 2003, 2004. Yeah, the company hardly had any blacks. So I just saw that things were like the scale. I mean, who is in what position, that new people being brought in, but the work for Black Americans was lacking. It's just the trends that you see. But I can ask myself, now that I learning about this opium war, that what happened to China was devastating. This happened over 100 years ago. Was that 150 years ago? It was quite devastating for the history. But what if now on the planet? But what if now, what happened to China, China's revenge back upon us, even though we're not, the U.S. is not Britain. But again, the U.S. was a British colony. And the U.S. has strong ties with Britain. And really, U.S. seems like an extension of Britain, in my opinion. But what if what's going on in America is China's revenge against the British Empire? And so they may be orchestrating a lot of the things that happen with the drug war now in America. You have more people from China in these key positions. Excuse me. Like I used to go to the VA hospital. I'm a veteran. And all of a sudden, I've been going to that location for over 20 years. And all of a sudden, with the current administration, you saw an increase in people from certain countries. And the behavior of some of the people, that's what was really troubling. Bullying, insensitivity to the patients. And again, in New York City, most of the patients that go there are all black people, black. But with the economic hardships now, it's affecting everybody. So now, who seems to be going there? The larger number of people are Black Americans, and elderly white men. That's who you see going there. So, like when I first started going there, that's all I saw, black men. But I would say after the current economy, people can't afford things. People are losing their jobs, and so they go there to save money. They can't afford it. But the people who run some of the departments look like they're people from China. Now again, I'm not anti-Chinese. What I'm anti is communism. And I think the communists have been infiltrated in key positions such as the VA hospital. What else? I think the war, where the drugs coming from. And look at what happened in 2020. Where did that virus come from, people? Where did it come from? Yeah, what did Trump call it? He called it the China virus. But China didn't do it alone. There are people right here in America who helped do all that to initially started in the U.S. And as I heard it, that they had gotten these two students, and I think they were from China originally, and they brought these samples, the viral samples, back to China in Wuhan, and then the rest is history. That particular happening started in 2020. It devastated a lot of Americans. People were losing jobs, businesses were shutting down, all because of a so-called virus. And the cold, it's considered a cold. I mean, colds come and go, right? I think what really, well, I can't say it yet. But I'm asking myself, those birds sound nice. Is that what's happening, people? Is what's happening China's way of getting back at the children of the British Empire. Just look around. Again, I'm not talking about hating the people. I'm about the government and the orchestration. And I feel they're working overtime. And they're working overtime through the current administration. And Kamala, she claims she loves America, but everything she does is to undermine the infrastructure of America. It is devastating. It's like such an intensity that's happening. So what is it, people? Is what's happening in America with the drug situation? Is this a payback? I think so. I think it is. So I guess you got to do some real repentance, right? America as a whole. Something is going to happen. Something. People are saying this might be the last voting in America as we know. I did cast my ballot, my absentee ballot, since I'm living here. I hope it gets there in time, and I hope my vote is counted. Yeah, I feel relieved. But so should I feel that what's happening in the United States, that like it's good for us, that you sow what you reap type of thing. So it's an awful feeling to think that. But after watching that documentary, I start to really feel, it's just karma, you know, back and forth, people doing things. You have a country like China that had their empires, its leaders. And that particular emperor was the richest person of his day. And then, boom, your nation becomes addicted to opium. Look at America. We've become addicted to its drug of choice. And along with it, the import of illegals to overthrow America. Quite sad. This is quite sad. So this is just food for thought, people. Please pray for America, that we get back our sanity and we turn away from our wicked ways. Please save America from itself. And please save us from these interlopers, people who are social engineers, who want to change America and the world to its new world order. Okay? So thank you again for listening. Yeah, it's getting dark in here now. Yeah, it's actually quite beautiful. Very beautiful. I should come out here more often. I don't know, some days I don't know. But it's quite beautiful. Yeah, so that's all that I have to share for now. Peace, love, and joy to you. Let me know what you think. What's happening in America today? Do you think the current drug crisis, the current everything, do you think um, the revenge from China for its that opium war of the past. Let me know what you think. Peace, love to you. God save America. Bye bye.